Hi everyone, it's Pastor Jeremy coming to you with another weekly devotional from the South Freeport Congregational Church. Today I bring you greetings from Fort Worth, Texas, where I'm here once again on business. That unfortunately required me to be here first thing Monday morning, and so I had to fly out over the weekend. I am so sorry that I missed the celebrations of Sunday around Earth Day, but I did have an opportunity to watch the service online from the hotel, and it looked like it was a wonderful, wonderful service. I can't wait to hear more about it when I return. Well, today in this devotional, I want to share with you some reflections on a passage that was one of the suggested lectionary readings for this past Sunday. It comes out of the book of Luke, chapter 24, where we get the account of the Emmaus walk. Now, Emmaus was about 7 miles outside of Jerusalem. And on this particular day, there were two that were traveling to Emmaus when a stranger came and began to walk with them. The stranger asked, "What is it that you two were discussing?" And they were surprised. They were shocked that the stranger had not heard anything about the prior days, about Jesus, about the crucifixion, his death, burial, and now his resurrection. And as they continued to walk, they also continued to talk until they finally arrived at the town of Emmaus. Upon arrival, because night was falling, the stranger looked as if he was going to continue on. But the two invited him to come in because it was so late in the day and evening was falling. They invited him to come and stay for the night and also prepared a meal for him. They did not yet realize that it was, in fact, Jesus, because Jesus had not made himself known to them. What speaks to me the most in this passage has to do with this word stranger. The two invited a stranger into their home, not yet knowing that it was, in fact, Jesus. I ask the question, would any one of us be comfortable? Would any of us feel safe to invite a stranger into our home for a meal, let alone to stay the night? Surely not in our society and in our culture today would we be comfortable doing so. And surely the days of Jesus are far, far different from the days in which we live now. Over the last month, we've heard a lot about strangers, and unfortunately, it's been about strangers that have been shot or even killed. We've heard about the young boy who knocked on someone's door by mistake and was shot. We heard the story of a group of teens or a group of young 20-year-olds that turned around in someone's driveway, and the gentleman was so angry he came out and started shooting simply for turning around in the driveway, and ended up striking one of the young women, and she later died. And unfortunately, another story where a man and his six-year-old daughter were shot at simply because her basketball rolled into someone's yard. It seems that anymore that any kind of greeting that comes without a form of hostility seems to be radical hospitality. I want to share with you some words today by theologian Thomas Long, who I think speaks so eloquently to the topic of strangers and hospitality. We show hospitality to strangers not merely because they need it, but because we need it too. The stranger at the door is the living symbol and memory that we are all strangers here. This is not our house, our table, our food, our lodging. This is God's house and table and food and lodging. We were pilgrims and wanderers, aliens and strangers, even enemies of God. But we too were welcomed into this place. Beloved, over the next few days, I invite you to be thinking about how you can be intentionally hospitable to the strangers that you meet along the way, at the grocery store, the restaurant, the gym, the gas station, wherever you see someone that you don't know. How can you be kind? How can you be hospitable? Just as God is kind and merciful and loving to each one of us, may we also be with the strangers that we meet. God bless you, God keep you, and until we meet again, Godspeed.